for today's agenda, we're gonna start with introduction. My name is Anna. I'm a key account manager from Hostify, and I have from Whimstay, I have Alex. So Alex, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Alex Aliotto. I am the head of growth and a co-founder at Whimstay, and we are coming from you live from beautiful San Francisco.
Very good. Well, I'm coming live from Madrid, so different parts of the world.
Different parts of the world.
So today we're going to see a little bit of why Hostify, why Whimstay, the importance of working together, and then we're going to finish our agenda with some questions that you can ask, and we will be more than willing to help you answer these questions. We would like to start our presentation with this message. I think it's kind of important to know that more and more everybody is booking their holidays, everybody is booking their weekends on technology, by the internet. So the importance to actually have the right tools to sell your properties online, it's very important. So that's why this webinar between Whimstay, that is a very growing OTA, and Hostify as a property management, can help you, like it says here, increase your bookings, so that way you can increase your revenue as well. So we're going to start a little bit about what it's Hostify about. So we're actually a property management software. We help short-term rental companies, individuals, owners to manage their properties, to centralize their management, to automate their processes, to optimize the daily operations. In terms a little bit more how Hostify have grown in the last 3 years. So we have helped our clients grow more than 15 million bookings. We have more than 34,000 listings, and we work in more than 46 countries like United States, Mexico, Australia, Spain, UK, and we're growing every month to new markets and to new businesses as well. In terms of why Hostify? So for Hostify, it's very important, and we have 3 key points that are very important for us. The first one is going to be work smarter. What we mean with work smarter, because if you work smarter, you're going to work easy. Working easy, it's going to give you the possibility to get more bookings. Obviously, we know more bookings means more revenue. If you're working smarter as well, this means that you can centralize everything, make your day-to-day task and management easy, so that way you can as well focus on what this industry is all about, that it's create experience for all your guests. And finally, another key point for us is our support. We actually have a support that is 24/7. They're always there to help you. Is one of our key features in Hostify. So these are our main points. In terms of how Hostify works. So first thing is the importance of connecting different channels. Actually, Hostify is partners with Booking.com, Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia, Agoda, Plum Guide, TripAdvisor, and of course, Whimstay. The importance of integrate different channels in just one place allows you to manage one unique calendar where you're going to be able to actually manage all your bookings much easier and control the revenue and everything related to all your bookings. Having this in mind, of course, you're going to have as well what we call our unified inbox. This unified inbox is going to allow you to communicate with your guests without the need to go channel by channel every time replying to the guest messages. One good thing about our unified inbox is that you're not only going to send the messages to the channels or to the guest email. If you have the phone number of the guest, you're going to be able to send text message and WhatsApp message as well from here. We have as well many automations that they're going to make your day-to-day easier. I'm just going to wait to explain you a little bit more of automations on the next slide, so you can understand as well what we can offer you in terms of automations. And other features that we have in the Hostify is the opportunity for you to create your own website through our booking engine. Working with the OTAs is important, as well as having your own website. So Hostify gives you the opportunity as well to create your own website, not only through our booking engine, but we have the possibility as well to integrate any WordPress website through our plugin. So we know that working with OTAs, promoting your properties on OTAs, promoting your properties through our booking engine, it's going to bring you more reservations, meaning more revenue for you as well. Going now to all the different automations that we can provide you in Hostify. We have the opportunity to create personal automated messages. So these ones you can create as many as you want. And as I explained you before, you can automate these messages and you can send it directly to the channels, to the guest email, text message, or WhatsApp message. You can post reviews automatically. You're going to be able to create and assign many tasks as you need. These ones, they're going to be more specific for your cleaners and your maintenance team, so you don't have to do it manually every time. You're going to be able to set new triggers, like for new inquiries, change status, reservation updates. And as well, you're going to be able to automate your payments as well. So you'll be able to tell the system as well how you want to charge your credit cards. You can put out yourself alerts in case of the credit card is declined or the credit card goes through. That way, you're going to be able to actually take actions of your reservation and not everything at last minute. Obviously, this is one of the key features and automations that we can offer you, but Hostify as well has many more features that we can offer you. So these ones, obviously, we can explain you in a little bit more deep in details if you want to book a demo with us. Now I'm gonna pass the presentation to Alex so he can explain you a little bit more about Whimstay.
Cool. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. Also, I want to start before we kind of get into anything. I just want to start and say how excited we are about this partnership. We work a lot with PMSs. It's obviously how we connect to all the PMCs out there. And it's interesting when you find a unique combination, I would say, of a really good product, a really good data, good technology, and then good people, right? And we do believe we found that combination with Hostify. So we're really thrilled about this. And as we sort of look through the landscape of what the property managers are and where they are and how they're covered, and we're thrilled. And so, like I said, we work with a lot of PMSs, a lot. Obviously, it's part of our business model. And I can say with total confidence that this is one of the best out there. So we're really thrilled about that. So, all right, enough of that nonsense. So I've got my glasses here because I'm now in my mid 40s, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but our box is very small. So I am unfortunately going to have to rock these things and take a look and just maybe be as free flowing as I possibly can. Now let's start with this. Who is Whimstay and what are we doing? Ooh, that got bigger. That's way better. Okay, so what we are is we're a channel in the vacation rental space. Obviously, what we do is really, really simple and really, really specific. We help property managers fill their unsold nights last minute. That is it. We deliver what we consider a best-in-class user experience. We do it through mobile. We do it through app. And we've got a top-notch support system, just like On does with Hostify. But that's it. What we do is we help you get rid of expiring inventory, which is going to drive additional revenue and obviously raise occupancy. So here's what we're talking about a little bit today, right? I think what we want to talk about is a couple things, right? Shoulder season. So how we can take advantage of shoulder season, right? Also, maybe potentially some data that we're seeing that might show the death of shoulder season, that might show that low season and shoulder season might become a thing of the past. And there's a couple of things that you can do in order to optimize and make sure that that's the case. So part one of that, I think, is the traveler that's coming down the pipe, right? So the next gen traveler is what we consider that. And I'm only going to speak for the US right now because that makes up a lot of all the data that we have right now. But the same is happening for Europe and the same is happening for Latin America. And we know that through conversations that we've been having. So the next gen traveler, let's talk about them for 1 second. Who is the next gen traveler? They're millennials and they're Gen Z. So they're kind of in that 23, 4 to about 40 range, right? That consists of about 151 million people in the United States of America, which is almost half the population. And they spent $350 billion in travel last year. They are estimated to spend an additional 100 billion, which means 450 billion in travel this year. This is what Forbes called the golden generation of travelers. And that's 100% the case. They are using travel very differently than people have in the past. So approximately 50% of all millennial travelers, one of the things they do, last minute, right? 69% of millennials surveyed regret not taking a last minute trip. So the mindset, obviously, is a little bit different with this generation. And also we're finding probably maybe even the older generation too. So go ahead on. Say goodbye to shoulder season, right? I think that's a welcome message for everybody, right? So Whimstay, right? Again, here's what we do. We help you fill your unsold nights last minute. Let me actually briefly just say how we do that. I probably should have gotten into that before. Through a connection with Hostify, we're going to pull everything, right? So that includes your taxes, your fees, your photos, and then most importantly, your calendar, right? So any of your properties that we pull that have availability within our 21-day window, right? Those will show up in the app or on the web. If it's not available, it just doesn't show up. So that was an important thing for me to start by saying. Now, knowing all of that, know this, over 50% of all bookings on Whimstay are made outside of we consider regional high seasons. In other words, over half of our bookings happen during shoulder season, right? Property managers who list on Whimstay see an average 20% increase in occupancy rates during that off season. And then Whimstay data shows an inverse trends for regional search popularity when compared to major sites with increased traffic to desert areas during summer heat, mountain areas during heat and mine, and northern coastal areas during winter. In other words, we're seeing a trend of people trying to book during those off seasons. And there's a couple of reasons why, and we'll get into that. One of them is digital nomadism. So there was an idea maybe during the pandemic that this is probably a trend, right? These folks, and just so you know what digital nomadism is, it's those folks that are out there let's say they live in San Francisco like I do, and they say, you know what, I can work at home, but now that I have the option of working remotely, which is a massive part of the workforce out there now, why don't I maybe just go and do that in Lake Tahoe for a week or two, or Los Angeles, or Phoenix, or whatever, or Park City, or whatever the case may be, right? So digital nomads are no longer what we consider to be a trend. It's now considered a movement, right? So for you guys, this is something that's massive and something really important to take advantage of, because this is this is one of the reasons shoulder season is increasing. So for property managers, amenities like workstations, right? High-speed, reliable Wi-Fi. That is now just as important as having a hot tub or a pool, right? And these hybrid work schedules, this means plans for travel are less focused on seasonality, and then they're more just focused on change of scenery, right? So yeah, I'm tired of looking at this garbage can every single day. Let me go somewhere else. And then gone are the days of the 2.5 trips per year. And we'll get into this a little bit more, right? But next-gen travelers are searching, if you don't mind going back for one more.
Yeah, of course, sure.
But next-gen travelers are searching more frequently for deals, and they're looking for that on their work-to-home destinations. And then retention looks a little bit different, right? So this is super important for you guys, because direct bookings at the end of the day are what's best for property managers, right? So channels like us, what we do is we provide traveler, I would say, always think of our commission, and Whimstay's is 5%, as a traveler acquisition tool, right? So this is when we can bring you these travelers, and then this is how we get retention, right? Good coffee. If you can have coffee from like a local coffee place, that would be amazing. Suggestions for restaurants go a long way, ensuring travelers fall in love with their new home away from home. All these kinds of things, right? These are sort of the ways that we can really be kind of building and getting towards direct and taking advantage of the digital nomads. Okay, Anna, go ahead. Mini vacations are a la mode. So it used to be, right, that in my age and in some others' age, you would kind of schedule a 1 week long vacation a year, right? You'd go to Hawaii for a week in, I don't know, November or December or something like that. That's not the case anymore. That's not how these folks are traveling. It's not how a lot of people are traveling. So millennials take 5.6 trips per year compared with half the amount taken by what we consider baby boomers. And then 69% of next gen travelers take more trips on weekdays compared to older generations at 13%. How many of you guys on this call have that sort of Monday to Friday anxiety, right? Like, oh God, we need to fill these weekdays. This is a way to do that, right? Get in touch with that next gen traveler a little bit. And then approximately 50% of millennial travel is last minute vacation choices. And I'm sure you guys are seeing this. And 69% of millennials surveyed regret not taking a last minute trip. I know I mentioned that in a slide before, but it's worth bear mentioning again. Okay. When I go like this, that means next slide. Sorry.
That's okay. Understood.
Collaboration is the key, right? So tools to support trip planning for group travel. This is becoming increasingly important. So group travel is a big deal. And this is, again, something that is for millennials and the Gen Z traveler. So this is a trend, again, that's not going away. And this has to do with that generation and how they want to do things, right? And also older generations as well. So I want to make sure we understand that this is just trend seen from what's coming, right? There's always what is currently, right? And those millennial and Gen Z travelers, they are also what's here now, but it's also, these are the trends that are coming that we need to take advantage of. There was I'm about to just go off topic for 1 second, but there was a magazine article from Forbes recently that came out. And last year, Forbes did a survey, and the gap between hotels and vacation rentals last year and a year and a half ago was about 30 to 40%, right? So that was the gap. That gap has been closed to 3% according to Forbes, right? So what's happening is people are recognizing that vacation rentals are what they want to do first. So soon we are going to become the ubiquitous form of lodging and travel. Soon we will overtake hotels. So we've got, and that has everything to do with the behavior of what's coming, right? And the behavior also in COVID, there was a lot that changed from COVID. So how do we sort of take advantage of that? And that's why these kind of shoulder season and low seasons are a thing of the past. So one thing that we do at Whimstay is that we created something called split pay for group travel. So you guys everyone's got those, not everyone, but sometimes you've got those homes that have, for 8 to 10 folks. And those could be a little bit more difficult to sell because they've got a higher price point, right? So one thing that we've created, a proprietary tech on our site, is called Split Pay, where group travelers can go and they can split the payment within the app itself. It listens the sticker shock, right? So one person is not paying $6,000 for a weekend. Instead, if that's going between 6 people or 8 people or whatever, it's more like $800. Way less than sticker shock. And also, what we find it does is it increases the urgency. So it just creates much more of a booking situation. So these are some things that we're doing in order to do that. 68% of millennials said they wanted a service that would let them split the cost of travel with others in a group booking. And then recent travel trends show an increase in travel tech used by some of these older generations that we're talking about, that we haven't been talking about, right? So all this stuff is sort of complementary to all of the all generations. Go ahead, Anna. I'd say always ask what's next, right? So hosts and operators that fail to invest in forward-looking, data-driven revenue performance capability will simply be unable to keep pace with those who embrace it. Anna and I were joking that we're not great with technology, right? And we're not. But this is, you've got to, like this, what we're doing right here, right? We've got to be able to embrace that this is how people are talking. You've got to be able to embrace the fact that channels and OTAs are how people are looking. Two-thirds of next-gen travelers are turning to OTAs, 31% more than prior to the pandemic. Now, what does this mean, right? This doesn't mean that we need to be relying on channels. We shouldn't be relying on channels. I might be getting ahead of myself. I forget what the next slide is, but I do want to say this quickly, right? is that the most important thing is to have a balanced approach. This, one thing Whimstay will do is the traveler will come to Whimstay, they will book, and then we will give you all the traveler's information fully unencrypted, right? So at that point, go and start your marketing. Always think of channels not as a hindrance and something that's sort of taking your money or whatever. No, we're a traveler acquisition tool. That's what we should be, at least. And if there are other bigger OTAs or channels that are maybe not following that roadmap, that's on them. What we think we are and what we think we should be, and the way that this is a really, really healthy industry, is to have a good balance, right? 35% based on channels, 35% based on, let's say, Airbnb. We'll call them a different kind of channel. And then it should be 35, 40% that's direct. If you've got all of that coming, you guys have a nice, what we call in sales, a healthy pipeline. So that's what's really, really important. But know that folks are using these channels. It's going to be up to you guys to transform those travelers that come to you into repeat customers. Go ahead, on. I knew it. That's exactly what I just said. I knew this slide was coming next, but I didn't trust myself. But so I'll just kind of read these. Look, increase your occupancy rates. 62% of Whimstay travelers come to Whimstay looking for deals on last minute travel within the next 7 days. So our average lead time right now is 7 nights. That's our average lead time. Our average length of stay is 6 nights. So this is really exciting for us because this is a proof of concept, right? This is an understanding that folks are using this last minute, not to go 2 nights or 1 night or that kind of nonsense. No, they're staying for actual stays. Fill gap nights and cancellations. So last minute cancellations are a real pain for you guys, I'm sure. Gap nights are a pain. Weeknights are a pain. So 15% of Whimstay travelers indicate that a good deal will determine their destination. We love this, right? So this is sort of an attitude of travel now where it's like, they're going to Whimstay and they're saying, what looks good value-wise, and then choosing the destination in the house based on what makes most sense value-wise. And for you guys, what we want to be at the end of the day is something really, really simple. We just want to be something that allows you guys to fill your gap nights, your unsold nights, that revenue that otherwise was going to go unsold, right? Because some money is better than no money. That's kind of our philosophy on it. And then our very unique value proposition attracts a segment of high value next generation travelers, as well as, and we're finding, so I've been talking all this about next gen travelers. Our second biggest percentage or second biggest demographic are what we consider retirees. So 65 to 75. So, which is really interesting and lovely and fabulous. We love that, right? So that's our second most. And I think it's like 37%, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's about 37% are what we consider the next gen traveler. And then 27% is what we consider retirees. So it's not very far behind. Go ahead, on. Better together.
Better together. I think this slide kind of reflects everything that you just say. And as Alex mentioned, all the information will be pulled from Hostify to Whimstay. So here is the importance that you see, like this piece that is missing. It's what Whimstay is going to bring you. So you're going to have a strong property management software that it's going to help you manage this calendar. That is, Alex mentioned very well, can be connected with other OTAs as well to your own website. And you're going to have these like days that you're not going to have any bookings, or maybe you have a last minute cancellation, and there is where Whimstay is going to enter, and it's going to help you fill up all these gaps that sometimes they are missing. I don't know if you want anything to add about it, Alex.
We're so fired up about this partnership. We really are. Again, we love the technology is great. The property managers that we've seen are great. Everything that the people are great. It's, there are a lot of PMSs out there. I'd say that you guys made an incredibly wise choice choosing Hostify. And so we are thrilled about this partnership. I mean it.
Thank you very much. I think Whimstay is going to be a good addition to our partnership as well.
Yeah.
So finally here, thank you, of course, for coming. Here you're going to have all the details from Alex, all my details as well. So you can contact me if you want to book any demos, either with Alex or me. You have our emails over here. And now we can start if you have any questions. Alex said, this one is for you. Is there any requirements to list my properties on Whimstay?
Nope, just that you're connected on Hostify or connected on, yeah, nope, that's it. No requirements.
But right now you're only on the US, right?
Oh, yes. So right now we're in the US, Mexico, and Canada. We are moving to Europe and Latin America very soon, very, very soon.
Perfect.
Well, the rest of Latin America.
Let's see if we have any other questions over here. Can I manage my bookings and client information from Hostify? Of course. So all the reservations that you get in the different channels will come to Hostify, and that we're going to have a CRM inside the system where you're going to be able to store all the information from past guests, present guests, future guests. You're going to be able to export this information. And obviously, you're going to be able to manage your bookings. You can mark the bookings as check-in. You can see where the bookings are coming from. So everything will be managed from Hostify.
You guys have a CRM?
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
Another question, do I set the prices or does Whimstay do it automatically? Can I set a minimum price?
Yes. So here's how it's going to work. So our onboarding process is about 15 minutes total, which is really nice. The way it would work would be you would flip us on in Hostify. We would pull all of your information. The onboarding process itself, Whimstay is merchant of record. I'm going to get to your question. I'm not dodging it. Whimstay is merchant of record. You would get paid out 0 to 24 hours after check-in. You would set your discount on Whimstay. So we'll pull whatever the price is on Hostify, and then you'll add a discount on Whimstay. That's going to be up to you, whatever that discount is. We always will make a recommendation based on markets to make sure that you are competitive within your market, but ultimately it's going to be up to you. And then that's it. Yeah.
I think this question, I think you already answered it as well. Can I set a special rate for the last minute bookings?
Yes. So that'll be up to you. What we'll do is, if you're interested, shoot me over an email, and I will direct you to whoever is in whatever salesperson is in your area, and then we'll chat, answer all your questions, figure out a discount that you're going to be excited with, and then move on from there.
Perfect. Very good. I have another one. Well, do you have support 24/7? So from Hostify side, we do have a support 24/7. What about you, Alex?
Yep. You will also have a dedicated account manager. So you'll have an account manager that's just yours, and so and that's specific to your region. So you'll be able to contact he or him whenever you want.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Alex, thank you so much for your time, for your explanation. Thank you for this great partnership. And here you can have all our information so you can contact us directly as well.
Thanks, Anna. You're the best. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.